Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video I am going to do a book review of a book that is very special to me. It is something that has helped me so much along my journey, particularly in my entrepreneurial works and business, and I really wanted to share this with you today because I think this book will make a difference to absolutely everyone and anyone, whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. So the book that we're going to be covering today is Goals by Tracy. It's an incredible book that I must have bought about, I would say it's got to be more than 10 years ago now. I've been using it for ages, and it really is Brian Tracy is like the king of goal setting, if you like. He's incredible. He's written so many books, but this one really is the focus for specific goals and how to set goals, how to achieve your goals, and really the step-by-step processes that you need to do and you need to go through to achieve whatever it is that you personally want to achieve. So let's get started. Now, Brian starts off the book with the question of what is it that you really want and what is it that you want to be. So you have to establish and ask yourself those sort of questions. What is it that you actually want? Okay, yes, everybody wants more money or better health, but you need to do it in a more of a structured way and really sit down and ask yourself and determine, write it down exactly what it is that you want, and that is the first thing that you have to do in this process of setting your goals, because without knowing those things that you want, like concrete written down, how are you going to achieve them? It's going to be incredibly difficult, and it's like a ship not knowing where it's sailing to. It just goes sort of round and round in circles. So that's the first thing that Brian mentions and that he covers. As part of that, he talks about imagining that you can succeed at anything, you can achieve anything that you want, and imagine what that would be like if you were guaranteed not to fail. So what would it be that you would want to achieve and want to succeed at if you knew 100% that there was no danger of failing, that wasn't an option? And that is a great starting point as well, because that really helps you to understand what it is that you want, and to not have your fears and negative thoughts sabotage what you really, really want in life. So that's something that I would suggest that you can try, and it will make a big difference in the first initial steps of goal setting. You then need to determine the price that you're willing to pay. So Brian talks about what is the price that you are willing to pay to achieve those goals, achieve what you really want, because there is always going to be a price that you have to pay. Unfortunately, it is it's kind of part and parcel of it. You can't just sit on your sofa or permanently go on holiday and things and your goals will be achieved. No, there is going to be a certain price in time and effort and potentially money and things that need to go into achieving your goals. So first off, have a look at that and see if you're willing to pay that price. You might not be. You might be like, no, actually, I really don't feel like doing that. I'm quite happy with where I'm at. So just have a look at what it's going to take and the price you're going to have to pay to achieve your goals. Then he suggests to only talk about the things that you want and not talk about the things that you don't want. So it's that positive mindset, but it's a bit more than that. It's about being aware of the things that you could. It's very easy to start talking about the things that you don't want. Oh, I don't want to be late. Oh, I don't want to lose this job. Oh, I don't want to run out of money. Oh, I don't want to be ill. But actually that's like attracting all the wrong things into your life. You need to be solely focused on what it is you want, not what it is that you don't want. And one of those things for me that I recognize when I start doing that is the sentence usually begins with what if. So what if I don't achieve X, or what if I don't achieve this? What if I don't achieve that? And that's when you know that the fear and the negative thoughts are starting to come in, and you're thinking about what you don't want rather than what you actually do want. So throughout the day, you need to kind of like check in with yourself, and you'll see these different times in the day when you're starting to say and starting to focus on the things that you don't want. But just flip that around every time you see yourself doing it. Just, right, okay, I've seen it, I'm doing that. I don't want to do that anymore. I need to focus on what I want. I'm going to focus on all the things that I want, not on what I don't want. Then Brian also talks about something that is quite an interesting one, and it's kind of hard to accept, but we will have to accept it, and that is we have to take responsibility for our own lives and for our own successes. We can't be making excuses and blaming everything else, like the economy, or blame your family, or blame it. You have to stop the blame situation, the blame game, so to speak, and really take responsibility for your life and what you want to achieve. Yes, the chances are things aren't 100% ideal within life. Everybody has different things that they are dealing with, but that doesn't mean that you can't achieve great things just because there are difficulties and obstacles. The reality is, if there weren't obstacles, it wouldn't be a goal, it would be a task. I think that's that shift, that you need to realize that there will be obstacles, there'll be difficult things, difficult times, unexpected situations that come up, but it's not about that. It's about realizing that you can actually still achieve so much, even with certain negative things that happen to you. But you have to take responsibility that you are in control of your own destiny, and that you are in control of your own success, because you are. You are. If you take back that power and stop blaming anything else, it will transform your life and your success. Brian also suggests within this book to do what he calls back to the future thinking. So back to the future thinking, it just sounds slightly crazy, but it's not. It's basically taking yourself in your mind to 5 years from now, and then looking back and seeing what it is that you want to have achieved in that time. And it's really useful for deciding what you want and setting your goals in that process, because it's quite a powerful visualization tool, and it's something that really hits home, because I think we all have goals that are sort of shorter term. We can, if we're not careful, we keep everything very, very short term, quick fix, instant gratification. But actually, if you can look a bit further into the future and start planning longer term, and realizing that the decisions that you're making today are actually should need to be for planning in the next few years rather than just in the next few days or weeks, and that completely shifts your mindset and enables you to really focus on the slightly longer term, which ultimately will lead you to achieving so much more. Brian then talks about listing down certain things. So like, what belief, if you had this certain belief, what belief would it be that makes such a difference and an impact to your goals? What skill would make an absolutely massive difference to helping you achieve those goals? Like, write these things down, because these are things that you need to work on and acquire. He also mentions about what person or what people would make a massive difference to your goal to help you contribute to achieving these things. And these questions that he puts in the book are actually really helpful, because they get you thinking, and they get you thinking of how to apply the theory, which so many books it's just all about theory, but it gets you thinking of how to apply it to your specific life and your specific situation. So that's really helpful, and there's like a thread throughout the book that there's these questions to ask yourself, and it just gets your mind going, and before you know it, you've come up with all of these incredible things that you need, and that you just, if you hadn't read the book, that you just wouldn't have done. So definitely try that. So the next thing to do, which is probably the main core as such, is write down your goals, and the way in which you write down your goals. So you need to list them like in the present tense, and also have a deadline. They need to be specific. You can't just say, I will lose weight, or I want to be rich, or they're like flaky, all over the place goals that are not really even goals, to be honest, and they're certainly not goals that you're going to be able to achieve because you can't measure them. So an example of a goal, say for example you wanted to earn, I don't know, £1 million or $1 million next year. So you'd write down, I earn $1 million by the 31st of December 2025, say, and that is then written in such a certain way that your mind starts thinking that it is actually happening because it's in the present tense, and because it's got a deadline. If you just leave it open-ended, I think the brain has this way of sort of pushing it aside, and you don't focus on it. But as soon as you've got a deadline, it starts to go into your subconscious mind, and you start to realize, actually, this is becoming part of me and part of my goals, and that's something that helps so much. So don't forget to write it in the present tense and give it a deadline. Make it measurable. So after you set your goals, you need to write a list of all the things that you need to do to achieve those goals in a sort of a planned way, because there's obviously lots of different actions and tasks that you need to do to be able to achieve these goals. You can't just write it down and then forget all about it for a year and hope it happens. Unfortunately, it doesn't work quite like that. I wish it did. But it doesn't, and there's like these lists of actions, and you know really what these different actions are typically that you need to take, but write them down, and then you need to sequence them as well. So because there'll be certain things that you need to do within these actions that are you can't do one before the other. There'll be a sort of sequenced order that you need to do these actions in to help achieve your goals. So rather than just writing a list, sequence it in order, and then add dates as to when you're actually going to do it. And Brian also mentions the importance of associating with the right people, and I think this is absolutely true. It's incredibly valid as to who you surround yourself with makes a huge difference to your life. So within it, he suggests like writing a list of all the different people that you should try to surround yourself with. He talks about, writing things down, what you need to do to achieve that. So like if you want to surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurs, research all the entrepreneurs groups and see which ones you can join up to or that you like the look of. It's that kind of thing, like thinking about where are the people who you want to surround yourself with. If you don't, maybe you have it all sorted already, but chances are I think pretty much everybody wants to improve the environments that they're in, and they want to attract great minds to learn from and to be around, and be around really positive energy with people. It's infectious. Energy is infectious. Positive or negative, so it can go one way or another. But just have a think about the people that you want to surround yourself with and associate with. The next step that Brian covers is visualization. Now this is something that's incredibly powerful because it enables you to get your goals into your subconscious mind, and you start to become that person who has achieved those goals in your subconscious before you've even almost got started. And doing this on a daily basis, ideally last thing at night, visualizing yourself having achieved these goals, and visualize that with the feeling that you've achieved them and how good that is, and like all the benefits and all the great stuff that's happening as a result of it. Just feel it and think it and see it in your mind, and it will start to help that transformation process, and you will start to get lots of ideas popping into your mind throughout the day that help you towards achieving those goals. So always incorporate that. Brian is a massive advocate for visualization, as am I. It's very, very powerful. So I would suggest that you try that. Then finally, Brian talks about persistence and how as you go through this sort of journey and this success, the pursuit of your dreams and your goals, how you need to persist, how it's not just going to happen overnight. We all wish that it did, but it doesn't. And there's these myths, I think, of people who have achieved overnight success, but it's maybe because they've become famous very, very quickly. But what people don't see is all the years and years of hard work and preparation and things that have gone into it beforehand, that just, I think in some respects the world kind of likes to gloss over that, and they make it this overnight success story. But nobody is an overnight success story. There's always a sort of backlog, if you like, of work and load of work that has gone into that, in preparation for that moment when it all comes together. Now, I've covered quite a few points in this amazing book, Goals, but there is so much more when you dig into it. It is a real resource. It's something that I've used so many times within my career, and I would really advise you to take a look at it. You'll enjoy reading it. It's written in a way that's super easy to digest. It's not like heavy going or anything like that. And you can dip into it and take out what you need for different times in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe below. And I will see you all again very soon.